Good morning. Friday morning. 12:05 in the morning on Friday, April 17th. This is episode 38 of the $9 podcast. I'm your solo host, as always, Drewski. I'm moderator of the Patreon for the Good Brothers, Machine Gun, Carl Anderson, and Luke Talk Gallows, and the silent partner, Rocky Azucar Romero. And I'm the moderator of a dedicated chat room, which is nicknamed the Falcon's Nest. And more about them in a little bit. It's Mania week, everyone. And the wrestling world has descended on Vegas for 5 days of nonstop graps. Highfalutin prices and some nonsensical stuff happening on cards, and multiple wrestlers showing up in 8 or 9 different events, sometimes 4 in a day. And it's a type of showcase event where if you're an independent, if you really shine, you basically bust your ass and go for it. You can really make a name for yourself. Into this maelstrom comes the Good Brothers. The Hoots have descended on Vegas. They got in about a couple days ago, and they're about day 2 of the madness. And did like a couple autograph signings on Thursday, technically last night, night 2, they had 4 different events. Right now, they're at an event at somewhere about midnight. That's the thing. For Mania week shows, some of the wrestling shows last till like midnight, 1, 2 a.m. You have to be really dedicated to be up for it. But then again, it's Vegas, 24/7. There's not really very many clocks there. If you have enough disposable income, you're gonna see some people you've never seen before. Might make new fans and new promotions you've never seen before. Curious, you might end up with a new favorite promotion. Who knows? Last night technically, the boys were scheduled to do the headline House of Glory. House of Glory had a card at the Palms Casino, and it was listed as a tag team dream match against the Hardy Boys. They have wrestled the Hardys before in the past, and in WWE and elsewhere. But it's something different where it's like a little confined ballroom, right? It's a little more intimate. It's like you can get away with a lot more, but for some reason, things happen. It's like it turned, from what I understand, it turned into a little bit of overbooking because then 2 other teams decided to show up. The main event, literally in the main event, and the Righteous from TNA, and it ended up being pretty much a schmoz, and inconclusive decision. So it's something they'll probably fall back on as a debut in House of Glory. Wait and see what the reaction is, because they'll probably be doing a live stream, maybe if they're awake enough when they get back to their hotel rooms, which should be about 2, 3 in the morning Vegas time. But it won't be long because they have to be at WrestleCon like at 9 a.m. And it just keeps going. It's like that's been following along pretty much the entire time. They've been giving updates about what they're doing in Vegas, and the boys wrestling like they have something to prove, especially the Gun at House of Glory. He was moving around like a G1, New Japan G1. You gotta remember, the Gun's 46. He's moving around. And he's facing Goto in an A block match. Impressive as hell. The hits just keep on coming. They're gonna be doing like part of a watch along for WrestleMania Day 1 coming up on the Saturday at the Nerd Bar. I know, shocking, Nerd Bar. It's funny how they make fun of nerds, and now they're at the Nerd Bar. But it is what it is, right? Supposedly they're getting back on a plane Sunday, right after they make a WrestleCon appearance. But that seems a little open to me, because the conspiracy theorist in me, the fantasy booker in me, thinks that they might show up on day 2 of Mania. I could be wrong, because supposedly Friday they're doing something that hasn't been announced yet, and because after all, Uncle Alan's induction for the Hall of Fame, WWE Hall of Fame, has not been. That's the one who's supposed to be inducting him, has not been announced yet. we shall see going forward. It's a beautiful thing. The boys are getting out there, and the funny thing is they'll be back home for like about a day or two. No, actually, no, they won't. They'll fly out and go straight to Japan for 2 weeks at NOAA, and it's going to be because they're if you've seen their itinerary come from like next 3 months, it's like it's very daunting, right? It's about 10,000 about 20,000 plus miles in the air, multiple countries, multiple time zones. You have to hope that everything runs on time. Yeah, yeah. You hope nothing happens like where they lose their luggage on the way or what happened. It's like you're at the mercy of air travel, and you have to make the best of it. You definitely have to make the best of it. And speaking of making the best of it, since the boys were in Vegas, the Falcons Nest podcast known as the Grunt Gang took over hosting duties, and in true Falcons Nest fashion, it degenerated into a near civil war on par with NWO Hollywood, NWO Wolfpack. Over the sort of minutia that pure wrestling fans over. A whole lot of ball busting. That's one thing you say about the Falcons, that's they know how to ball bust. And things were, and it's funny that all the problems they had, the technical difficulties that the boys, TalkNShop has had doing the lives, seem to have magically disappeared with the Grunt Gang when the Grunt Gang did it. So it leaves you to wonder that LG's Wi-Fi is cursed. Cursed by Danhausen, maybe? No. Wow. Yep. You never know at these times. It's like, it's great to see the Hoots like be trusting enough of the people in the Falcons Nest to hold down the fort while they're out counting the bright light. They're out brothering softly all over the world. That's a good vote of confidence, really. And another vote of confidence is the Machine Gun has a couple months ago came up with the bright idea that he wanted something called the TalkNShop Network. And after months of planning, it's finally going live. The Grunt Gang's going to start doing regular weekly podcasts on Fridays on Believe. It's basically all the TalkNShop podcasts are going to end up on Believe. It's like the end game, according to the Gun, is to have like daily podcasts, including the Good Brothers and the Nest. Basically, so Good Brothers and the Nest daily on Believe to a worldwide audience. Some of the podcasts might not be ready for that yet, but it's what better motivation than to go, hey, you better be ready. Wait for that call. When we call you, you better be ready to go for an hour. And to that end, it's basically we have the Grunt Gang, and they already charted on the podcast charts in the first week. And they already have merch up. And if you want to support it, you can do it. You can go there. And then there's the Bump and Feed podcast hosted by Emerson, aka Machine Gun's new young protege. And he's a good guy. Runs their whatnot account. And, he helps the boys out a lot with like graphics and so forth. And he's going to be debuting Monday, doing stuff Mondays at 6 a.m. His podcast will drop, and he has a merch site as well. So if you're interested, check it out. And of course, the big question is, so where's the $9 fit in this? Because I don't know yet. I have not gotten the call, but until I do, I'm gonna keep plugging away doing this, trying to get better. And I have some ideas in the fire to like upgrade stuff even more. Might involve a little bit of money money allocated on my end. But yeah, we'll see what happens. It's like I can only go. I can only go. So I want to say I want to be ready when the call comes. I just want to get my ducks in order because it is a big. It is a. I think it's a big responsibility, right? Because you're representing the boys. You don't want to be. You don't want to. You don't want to be the weak link. You don't want to be the weak link. That's a fear. It's a legitimate. It's a legitimate concern. Because the grunt gang and bump and feed are helmed by like the younger, what I consider the younger generation of the Falcon's Nest, and I'm one of the old OGs of the Falcon's Nest. So the vibe might be a little different. The topics might be the same, and will it veer off into insanity? Well, it depends. Will there be a bit of sarcasm involved in some stuff? Yeah. Will there be a bit of ball busting? Probably. Will there be guests? I don't know. Yeah, this is again, this is a work in progress after all. And you want to talk about work in progress right now. What they're doing on Dynamite and Collision, pivoting to have Darby Allin, one of the pillars, one of the supposed pillars of AEW, finally win AEW gold after 7 years. It's a good feel good story. And you have to wonder, it'll probably be, everybody seems to think it'll be a transitional thing because the main event, the main event talent, circling the belt is pretty much half the roster, and it's a murderer's row. But the thing is, okay, it's a first time winner, right? That's new. It's fresh matchups. Same with Kevin Knight being the TNT champion. It opens the door for like fresh matchups. So you don't want to have a rehash of being like Cena or be like Rollins and Cena. Oh, great, here we go again, match number 12. And I've seen it, done it. A little bit of variety, right? They've been teasing a lot. Yeah. And they're also starting to build up the trios divisions slowly. The War Dogs are new trios champions, and the tag team titles are still there. FTR has them for now. They're starting to be tag teams aplenty, starting to build up again. And speaking of, in regards to tag teams, it's like the Young Bucks are on a goddamn PWG type of run right now at 5 stars. The match they had with Okada and Takeshita was fucking brilliant. I mean, everything clicked, and even the long-term BTE callbacks, the Okada actually wearing Nick's gear, it's chef's kiss, right? They finally, the animosity between Okada and Takeshita finally came out in that match, and now it's official. Finally getting Okada and Takeshita double or nothing. And they're gonna tear it up. They're gonna tear it up. It's gonna be it's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be intense. It's gonna be very strong style. And I cannot wait for that. Right. Then you got Collision, where it's speaking of the future, it's like a young Nick Wayne getting tested by Mox, and more than holding his own. They've invested a lot in Nick's development because they see him as the future because he's put on a little bit more weight naturally. He hasn't gassed up like some talent usually do, and allegedly. And when he was 16 going on 17, he was a bit of an young Osprey clone. Especially Osprey, like when Osprey was like a junior in New Japan. Moves were the same, a lot of similarities in terms of moveset. He's young, he's fast. It just needs a little bit of promo. He's starting to actually, the promo work he did recently, how he learned from Christian. having him be mentored by Christian. It's nothing. He sat and took notes. And that 5 years from now, he's gonna be a problem. Kevin Knight is a problem now, right? And they're teasing like Kevin Knight's gonna go heel. Yeah, he's gonna go heel. He's very greedy. He wants all the gold. You know, the Speedball doesn't see it yet. You can see that they're gonna come to like loggerheads sooner or later. Yeah, and the build up for Double or Nothing started, and it's like it's gonna be. You know, they've already. It's like the venue there in New York they're using. It's another tennis arena. It's you know, Louis Armstrong Stadium, which is a little bit low, a little bit less attendance wise than the one they usually use, Arthur Ashe Court Stadium, but it's still 14,000, you know, which is all sold about 10,000, and we're still like about a month or so away. It's like they've only really announced like Okada to catch it, but they have a lot of time to build up a lot of people. It's again, I'll say it, an embarrassment of riches. And the flex on Mania Week, having AEW pull a synergy card and have collaborations with both Adult Swim and the NFL. I was like, NFL. That's surprised it hasn't happened. It's sooner since Tony Khan is an NFL owner. It's a good thing. It's very good. It's a very good thing. It raises the profile a lot. And be interesting to see further collaborations in the future. I saw the first episode of the Adult Swim thing. It was on Darby, so it was interesting. It's basically, it's very interesting, but it's produced by Adult Swim, but it shows on their YouTube, which is strange. It's strange. You'd think they would show it on Adult Swim. No, they can't show it on Adult Swim. It'd be interesting to see where it goes from there, because it's supposedly have episodes with Tony Storm and the Bucks. The Bucks one's probably going to be really silly, and shall see. Yeah. I think with that, I think I'll take my leave, and get back to preparing for the eventual network debut, whenever that is. So until then, it's like, if you are interested in helping the boys out, as usual, here's the merch is $9podcast.dashery.com. Yeah. And it is what it is. Yeah. And you want to support the boys on the Patreon, support the rest of like the Falcon's Nest and the podcast and the Grunt Gang. So go in the chat and talk to everybody involved and give comments or whatever. There's Patreon, patreon.com/TalkNShop. And halfway through Mania Week, so anything can happen between now and Sunday. Mania hasn't even started. We haven't even had the Hall of Fame. A lot of shenanigans might happen. If it does, luckily, a lot of the other guys on the network will probably get to it before I do. It helps a little. So we'll see. See you next week then.